Purple Tremble, and this is Purple Reels is watching. Anita Nicole Brown, and Anita is from Chicago, Chi-Town, and
Okay, so born and raised right here, Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. Um, let's see. I had an interesting path initially. Film was not on it, not at all. No way, no how, no. There was no film. I went to school for fashion design. So my undergrad was in fashion design, and then later I got my master's in marketing. So, like I said, there was no film on my radar. And then I fell into modeling. So I started doing pageants and everything. And I was going back and forth from LA doing pageants and all of that. And while I was out there, we went on go-sees, and someone was asking me, so what do you think about doing any film, any acting, any this, any that? And I was like, wait, what? I gotta do some more stuff. And so when I got back to Chicago, I started looking into it. I always wanted to get into fashion. Like I do love fashion. And so one of the tricks I figured was, well, if I do get into acting, especially starting an independent, I can be wardrobe. I can work with costume designing and things like, you know what I mean? Like, so I figured it could be a back door into the film world or into the fashion world by going through film and everything and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this will work. And then somehow, I just stayed in film. My issue with the pageant world is my platform is always going to be type 1 diabetes, period. And I remember one of the pageant systems I was in, I told them, I spoke with JDRF. JDRF is Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund. So type 1 diabetes is more known as juvenile diabetes. And I asked them if I, would be able to go to their events, wear the crown and everything, my sash, all of that and everything like that. And the only request they made was that the pageant system supported them. So speaking, promoting, anything having to do with JDRF and all of that. And the pageant system actually said no. I would love for everything to come from acting only. However, I also dance. I do ballroom dancing, and I teach ballroom dancing to kids here in Chicago. And I love doing that as well. It's hard to say this is all I'm gonna do.
Okay, man, look at all this. Yeah, I had it up. And of course,
oh my God.
The purple hair. Let's just, I don't know if I can zoom in on that, but you see it. And the name is it's all in the name too. Like, was this planned that it was a famous name, or?
I wish I could say my parents did think that far in advance, but I highly doubt it.
And see, look at all this, man. And this was the award for
Pieces of David.
David.
That award actually surprised the crap out of me. Because I remember when Lawrence said, hey, Anita, you're nominated. And like the film itself got nominated for Best Film. Lawrence got nominated for Best Director for the Black Excellence Awards at the African American Arts Alliance here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, awesome. But I knew the films that it was up against. Not saying Pieces of David wasn't, but I was just like, we got nominated, so I don't care. I'm good. And I remember Lawrence saying, you got your speech? I was like, whatever, I ain't gotta write no speech. I'm not going up there. When they announced my name, I was actually talking to a friend. And then who was sitting next to me? Because the Pieces of David, I think it was Lakeshia. I think she was like, Anita, they called you. And I was like, why? And she was like, you won. I was like, I what? And I had to go on stage. I was like, I ain't do no speech. I ain't do nothing. Like, I literally did not think I was gonna win it. Like, seriously, I was just like, I got nominated, I don't care. And then I had to go up there and give a speech. So
how was it? How was the speech?
You know what? The speech, so one of the things, oh my God, I'm not gonna cry, stop. Okay. So,
because I don't want to cry either.
so being a type 1 diabetic actress, like I told you before, I've been turned down for stuff just because of my medical devices being on me. And I remember I had films when I go in audition, I usually try and make sure you can see it. So you're not going to be blindsided if I get cast like, wait, you didn't have that on. Like, I try my best to make sure it's seen no matter what. From my headshots to my photo shoots and everything, you're going to know I am a diabetic and you're just going to deal with it.
That's what you're getting.
Right. And I remember when Lawrence cast me, I asked him, I said, where would you like my pump to be? And like, I always decorated, like it's got pretty color skins and stuff. Like those are additional clothing from my diabetic supplies, you know. Lawrence picked out the skin he wanted it to wear and everything for the film and all of that. So he was so on board with it being seen and with it not being hidden and everything. And I've had a lot of filmmakers say, well, if we show the pump or whatever, then the film is about a diabetic and now we got to address all of this and this and this. And that's like so much backlash that I've always gotten. So when I got the award, it was one of the times where that was proven completely false. Like, you have a strong piece of work, you have great actors, you have an amazing director. It don't matter that I had an insulin pump on my arm for the whole damn film. Hardly anybody even noticed it. And then here I am winning an award for Best Actress. Like, you don't have to make it a big deal. It's only a big deal if you make it one.
It just adds more character.
Yes, and
character more real. Like
that was so fulfilling for me. Now, if it's a dated piece, I get it, because insulin pumps and stuff like back in the 60s.
Yeah, right.
Totally get that. But today, no, there's no reason I should have to hide it. Winning that award it proved the point that I'd been trying to make for so long. So,
what made you decide to be so transparent about type 1? Also, for those of us who may not know, can you just let us know what type 1 diabetes is as well?
Okay, so I have type 1 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. It means my body destroyed its ability to produce insulin. Everybody's body makes insulin. Your pancreas creates it. And what insulin does is it turns all the food and everything that you eat, it converts it into the energy that you need to get through the day. If your body is not able to do that, you have to rely on an outside source to get that insulin into you. So for me, I have an insulin pump that allows that. Basically, it's my new pancreas, because my pancreas, well, it went on vacation and never came back. Diabetes, before someone comes at me with, do you take cinnamon and do all? No, it's an autoimmune disease. Unless I get a pancreatic transplant, I'm stuck with this disease until the day I die. I was diagnosed my senior year of high school. So I remember November 12th, 1998. I remember it clearly. Yeah. I felt so bad. My dad having to spend his birthday in the emergency room with me and stuff, so, I'm so sorry, but yeah, but I went through so much crap. Diabetic nerve damage in my legs and feet, lost the ability to walk for about a year, everything. Because you don't hear so much about type 1, but you see type 2 plastered across the screens. So I'm 17 and I felt like I did something wrong to get this disease. So I tried to not show it at all. One day, I think this was when I was in college, I had to eat. So I went to the bathroom and I remember, the crack, like even when you close the door, there's still little cracks.
Yes, I hate that.
I put my coat and scarf like on those little cracks so nobody could see me. And I pulled out my insulin and my syringe and everything. And I'm I'm getting ready to do my injections. And at the time I felt like I was a bad person. So I didn't want other people to see a bad person. And right before I did my injection, I remember looking around the bathroom like, why am I doing this? There was nothing I could have done to prevent this disease. There was nothing. I didn't deserve it. It wasn't like I ate too much sugar or anything. It was nothing I could have stopped.
So okay, now you got me more a little more curious. So then how did it happen? What did the doctor say?
That's the whole thing. With every autoimmune disease, that's the problem. It's your body sees something that it needs as a virus. So it attacks it because it thinks it's a virus. So my body saw my insulin making cells as a problem that needed to be solved. Right now, they don't really know what causes the body to say, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Hey, y'all, we need to get rid of this. Come on, let's go. Like, that's what it is. But I make a joke and I'm saying that means I must have some badass antibodies and immune system because it destroyed itself, man.
It reminded me of all I saw was the Magic School Bus. And I'm like, oh, when they were inside the body and you turned orange because you ate all them orange Cheetos.
Yep. One of the reasons why I started speaking out so much about it is because, and it's two-sided. There is an ignorance about the disease itself. And it's one reason why there's an ignorance is because a lot of type 1s don't want to talk about it. We don't want to do our injections, show people we're testing our glucose levels. We don't want to do it. So we're constantly keeping all that information hidden from the world. So there's an ignorance that we're adding to, but then there's also an ignorance to just people in general, not understanding type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So I realized I had to start speaking out more about it because I remember I worked on a set. I think I was in Ohio or something. I don't remember. I was somewhere. And I told them I was a type 1 diabetic. I will always say type 1. I won't just say diabetic because nutrition and everything and stuff like that varies for each type and each kind and each individual. So when I told them I was a type 1 diabetic, all they heard was diabetic and all they thought was type 2, which is sugar-free, no carbs, no this, no this, no this. Problem is, as a type 1, I'm injecting insulin to cover those carbs. So when I showed up on set, there was nothing for me to eat to counter the insulin that was in my body. And the production was like, wait, there's a difference? I was like, yes, there's a difference. I have to have carbohydrates in order to function. And they were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now I give them credit because they did try to honor there was a diabetic on set. Right. But they just did it for the wrong diabetic on set. I woke up and I was in the emergency room and the director was sitting next to me. My levels bottomed out because the food did not get there in time and I woke up in the ER. That's when I was like, I have to start putting this out there because it's not just a danger to the production and everything, but then it becomes hazardous to me.
Yeah, life or death.
Exactly.
What role changed your life or your perception?
For me, it's always gonna be crisis function.
Oh, really?
Yes. The reason why was because I had gone from injections to an insulin pump, I believe. I think I was I was on injections and then I was on an insulin pump and everything. And I told Nathan about it and Nathan literally said, okay, well, we'll just make the character a diabetic. How many productions would have done that? You see what I mean? And I was so like, wait, what? Seriously? And he goes, yeah, we'll work it into the film. Don't worry about it. We got you. Like, I was speechless. I was like, so my character is going to be a diabetic and everything. And then the fun part was the way we worked simple instances of diabetes into the film.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
When she was trying to give me my injection and all of that.
Like, I don't need you here. I can do this myself. And I was feeling that. Like, and then when it kept happening, then I knew, okay, there's something here. Like,
right. So there are lots of instances where if my glucose levels bottom out, I will pass out, obviously. And sometimes I can bring myself out of it. What Nathan was doing was the insulin that they were giving me was controlled insulin. It was the insulin that was making my character be able to go out and fight and everything, but she would black out. Because she was a diabetic, she didn't think anything of it until she started realizing, wait a minute, this is not a diabetic issue. So the fun part about it was working in diabetic things into a film. And so, yeah, that, I'm sorry, Crisis Function will be my favorite because of that. I want it to be where if I'm on a film set, like, I don't know if you can see right now, but like, this is my CGM. So this is always testing my glucose levels, so I don't have to constantly have to prick my fingers. But I want it to get to the point where you would see an actor with such devices and things like that, and it won't even be a problem. You'll be like, oh, they're diabetic. Okay, whatever. This is still really good. You know, like, I want it to be part of the new normal.
That is different than the pump then.
Yeah, so I'll show you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. So let's see. My pump is here.
Okay.
So this is my insulin pump right now. And this is my CGM.
But you can put it anywhere, basically, you're saying. Anywhere.
Right. So I have to move the insulin pump every 72 hours. So every 3 days, I have to change it.
For the little girls out there, you know, that are probably looking at you, and I don't know if their parents don't let them watch the movies yet, but they can watch Loyalty.
Not all of them. Not yet.
They can watch Loyalty.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, there might be a little girl out there who wants to be an actress just like you. So what would be your advice to them?
The hardest thing to do is to be comfortable with you. Until you can do that, you are going to get knocked on your butt every single day, every single time. You know, even when you go and audition for something and everything, they know who they want. The best thing you can do is be the best you. Show them you, be confident in you, love who you are, be you. No one else can be you. That is going to be your go ticket no matter what. You know you know the strength that you are, that you have. And as soon as you understand, gather that and hold on to that, you're going to be a force. That's it. So do that. Find you.
Routines, man. Like, okay, her name was Darling, but you were so darling. You were so darling in that film.
Everybody keeps saying that about me.
Yeah, that was the perfect. I wonder, how did they come up with that name?
I have no idea. That would be, we can interrogate Dominic about that.
That's a totally different director you work with too.
Yeah, right? But Willie Atkins, he does Breaking Fate Entertainment, so they were the production company and everything around Routines.
Okay, because I'm more open to like any type of, you know, film, so I stayed with it, and I know some people might not, but it's not for everybody, but it's for those people. It was a totally different film for me, but I think that was why I was like, I gotta do this. It was awesome. It's like, you know, I'm from Seattle, so there are some of those characters here. And I love it because, okay, out of all the films that I watch, every film, like, you shine through. Aww. But it's like, you become the other, like, okay, like Denzel and, you know, Viola and all the, like, and Angela Bassett, okay, it's the same person, but, you know, you become like a vessel, if you know what I mean. And then, ooh, it's Cicely Tyson said this too, here go that chill again, where you are so open that the character has no problem. It's easy for them to, you know, come out through you. And I was just like, wow, but this is the same. Like the same. Man, check out all the films. We're gonna put the links and everything, you know, there, but I don't know which one should we show piece from, because we know we can't show certain things in routines. We already know that. We know that. You guys got to watch that at home. Or you guys got it. Right. Like, so you're so free on set, and then, you know, in the pictures, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that, but Lord Jesus. it was like, wow, and then even that, had the
Yep.
like, yeah, sister, go, sister, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
when we filmed that, like, you never film in order of how the script is written. So the problem, like I said, when you wear an insulin pump, it changes every 3 days, no matter what. So one of the things I had to make sure I remembered was where my pump was placed, if it was seen on camera. So when I would change my pump, I would make sure I saved that skin and put it off to the side and everything. So if we go back to that scene,
for the continuity.
Right. So that is, you talk about keeping massive notes and stuff.
Be on it. So we're gonna show a clip of I have Pieces of David up.
We can do Pieces of David.
Let me see that. Where's that girl? I have to be so naive. Yeah, girl. What the heck? I don't know if I can find it though.
That was a really fun film. I'm not even gonna lie. It was fun. It was so much fun to shoot.
We're gonna watch a little clip of Pieces of David.
Being able to wake up and go to bed when I want. Not having a toilet in my bedroom. And not having a shower with 12 other chicks. You know what else I love more? Not having to sleep with one eye open and worrying about whether or not Crazy Eyes is gonna try and shove a screwdriver handle up my snatch.
What?
Yeah, well, I guess.
I know what part you're talking about.
And then I was like, some niggas, really, excuse my language, some niggas keep doing this shit. Like, I'm in, girl. Shoot. This is my show, damn it. But to have a phone I remember one dude that had 2 phones. But he has a phone for every woman, I would just say.
Nothing. What's wrong with you, you ungrateful little bitch? If it wasn't for me, you'd still be getting your ass cheated on. Where the hell's my gratitude and respect?
She knew she was wrong. She knew she was about to beat you up. Oh my God. I said, why does she even have the nerve? Her little self. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna enjoy watching this. The rest.
Everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Wasn't talking to you.
And then she tried to look all sweet. Everything's fine. Whew, everything's fine. Anita. Whew.
So when we were trying to do the slap and everything, they were trying to choreograph it and everything. And I was like, look, just slap me. I was like, let's just do it and everything. So that smack was a real smack. Like, that was real. There was no stunt work, no behind the scenes smacking noise. She just,
God.
Like, when I got Diane, oh my God, I was so happy I got, yeah.
Diane, yeah, man. And you're in there working, but you got your little negligee on, nigga. Hold on. We got this. She's ready for you, but let me do this work real quick. That's how they be. Like, dang. And she's like, well, I don't bother you when you're working. Oh my God, some of these films, I'm like, yes, I don't even have to make any. They're making them. So like, just show, hey, here.
Literally, I remember when we did our table read and we read through the whole script. When you see the finished film, we all looked at Lawrence. He was like, look, Lawrence, you want to talk? I mean,
we're not used to seeing that type of thing with, did you see all those black women? Oh, you were in it. But I'm like, but also, we're used to a certain, type cutting up, doing all that. So I was like, what? It's nice to be able to experience it in a movie. I know a nigga that deserves it.
It was so much fun. That whole
was there a marketing angle in the film, in any of the films that you're in? But because that is a win-win for
everyone.
Yeah. So I thought that initially when I saw your photos, the professional ones you did, where it's And then with all the needles, I was like, wow, brilliant. They've got to be using this. And that's what I thought you were going to say when I like, oh yeah, like product placement.
Right.
That's a product placement.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is on the actress, they could use that.
That's Nope, not so much so. In my eyes, it's bringing awareness to the disease, and then it's showing a style. Just because it's diabetes don't mean it's ugly. No, we add some sizzle and all of this to it, showing you, look, this is my diabetes. What showing a style to it. So no, I don't need the money from it, but if it's gonna add to it, great. So the cool little skins and stuff and everything. I designed the line last year, I want to say. Sorry, it's just telling me to test my glucose levels.
Oh, okay.
When we designed the line, after it got approved, I loved it and everything and all of that. I told them, I said, the only way I would be okay with it is if they gave, it wasn't a whole lot. It was like whatever they sold, I would make 10% of everything that was sold connected to my line. I said I would only do it if they donated that 10% to a company called the Sonia Nabita Foundation. They are a company in Africa that is teaching kids about type 1 diabetes, education, things like that and everything. In Africa, type 1 diabetes is still considered a death sentence, and it makes no sense considering how far we've come today. So because of everything, the education, the supplies, the money, all of that, they're still struggling. For me, yes, it's nice to make the money and everything, but in my eyes, I'm really, really, really lucky as a diabetic. I am so lucky to have the insurance, the accessibility to the devices and things and stuff like that. So I don't need that money, but $50 is almost a year's supply of testing strips in Africa. Why wouldn't I give that? You see what I'm like? I can give that. Like, let's just give it to them.
Man, thank you so much. This has been great. Wow, I got to chill with my sister Anita Nicole Brown. You got to say it all together. Anita Nicole Brown. Introduce
Yes.
Anita Nicole Brown.